Welcome to this week's edition of Gene and Cell Therapy Updates, covering the latest breakthroughs. Brought to you by LucidQuest. In today's news, NMDP and CIBMTR have launched a groundbreaking GVHD prevention study for mismatched unrelated donor transplants. The Accelerate trial will investigate novel strategies for preventing graft versus host disease, with an adaptive design comparing new therapies to the standard of care, PT-CY. The trial aims to enroll 358 patients, with final data collection expected by 2028. Rocket Pharmaceuticals has provided updates on its gene therapy pipeline. The company's RPA-601, aimed at treating PKP2 ACM, has been awarded FDA RMAT designation and is preparing for a pivotal trial. RPA-701 for BAG3 DCM has entered Phase 1 and has also received Fast Track designation. In addition, the company is restructuring to prioritize its cardiovascular gene therapies. Bluebird Bio has faced FDA restrictions on its Skysona gene therapy, following an increased risk of blood cancers. Skysona will now be restricted to patients who lack HLA-matched donors for treating CALD. This restriction follows an ongoing investigation into cases of AML and myelodysplastic syndromes. The FDA has also implemented new lifelong cancer risk monitoring for patients treated with Skysona. Sarepta Therapeutics has resumed shipments of its ELEVIDYS gene therapy for Duchenne muscular dystrophy after a review by the FDA. The FDA has cleared the resumption for ambulatory patients, but discussions are ongoing regarding liver toxicity risk in non-ambulatory patients. Sarepta is also restructuring its operations to focus on high-impact programs and reduce costs. Tenaya Therapeutics has announced positive progress in its clinical trials for gene therapies targeting hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, HCM, and arrhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy, ARVC. The gene therapy TN-201 for HCM has entered the dose expansion phase, following a safety review. TN-401 for PKP2 ARVC is advancing to higher dose cohorts, following recommendations from the Data Safety Monitoring Board. Data readouts for both therapies are expected in Q4 2025. Neurotech Pharmaceuticals has executed the first FDA-approved treatment for MECTEL, a rare eye disease. Encelto, also known as Rivacanagen Tararetzel-Way, is the first FDA-approved gene therapy for macular telangiectasia type 2 and aims to slow vision loss in patients. Immuneel Therapeutics has reported long-term success in its CAR-T therapy for blood cancer. The company's therapy, Varnum Captogena Autoleucel IMN-003A, demonstrated an 83% complete response rate in patients with relapsed or refractory B-cell non-Hodgkin lymphoma. The results show durability with no severe neurotoxicity or ICU admissions, marking a milestone in Indian oncology care. The European Commission has approved AGC Biologics manufactured CAR-T therapy, Aukitzel Obe-cel, for relapsed or refractory B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, BAL, in adults. This therapy is produced at AGC Biologics Milan Cell and Gene Center. The FDA has granted priority review for liso-cel in relapsed marginal zone lymphoma, with a PDUFA date of December 5, 2025. Clinical data from the TRANSCEND-FL trial shows significant overall and complete response rates, driving the FDA's review of this promising therapy. Precision Biosciences has advanced its PBGene-HBV gene therapy for chronic hepatitis B. Phase 1 data shows a significant reduction in hepatitis B surface antigen, with durable antiviral effects observed in 33% of patients. The company plans to start Cohort 3 as part of its ongoing development. CentiBio has announced a Phase 2 dose for CENTI-202, a gene therapy for acute myeloid leukemia and blood cancers. The therapy showed complete remission with no measurable residual disease in the Phase 2 trials, and the ongoing expansion cohort is expected to provide further data before the end of the year. Allogene has discontinued its ALLO-647 after a patient death in a lymphoma trial. The death, linked to immune suppression caused by ALLO-647 rather than CAR-T therapy, led the company to remove the immunosuppressive antibody from its pipeline. The company will proceed with a fludarabine and cyclophosphamide regimen only in future trials. Stay ahead in gene and cell therapy research. Like, share, and subscribe for weekly updates. Visit lqventures.com or email us at info@lqventures.com for expert healthcare